Again, thank you for number one for coming in, obviously and joining on this session today. What we're going to talk about and go through first, just before we do a bit of mobility, is while we're all sat at home, if we're working from home or we're furloughed or whatever, it's just trying to make sure we're still doing that bit of activity as well. So definitely thinking about your posture, which is what I'm going to go through today, and then and a few other bits. The session will be recorded. I'm going to do it so you guys won't, obviously no one will be able to see you, they'll only be able to see me, and the movements and stuff, so everything will be edited out and everything else as well. So the first thing I want you to do is, while we're all sat, obviously we're all sat in a chair, so I want it to make sure that we're in a sturdy chair. Now we're raising our rib cage up and we're sitting nice and tall. Okay, so we're relaxing our shoulders, and your bum is away from the back of the chair. So if I'm here now, I want you to try and sit feet nice and flat on the floor, and we're raising that rib cage up nice and tall. Okay, that's the aim. That's where we're gonna start. Okay. So while we're here, so we're sat up nice and tall, raising that rib cage up. Just hands onto your thighs, and we're just raising that rib cage up and hands here. We're just gonna do some neck turns first. Okay. 1 sec. There we go. So we'll do some neck turns first. So while we're here, we're going to turn your chin over to that right shoulder. We'll keeping that chest up nice and tall again. Okay, eyes in the middle. And we're going to the other side. So we're just turning that over. That's it, good. Eyes back in the middle. And then now we're going to look up towards the roof. So while we're here, we're just going to tilt that chin up. We're going to have eyes up towards the ceiling. And remember, we're trying to raise this rib cage up, and feet are nice and flat on the floor. Good. Eyes back in the middle. And we're now going to do chin in towards your chest. Okay, so we're just taking that chin down. Okay, good. And relax from there, eyes back in the middle. So now the next one we're going to do is one finger underneath your chin, and your hand is supported on your chest. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take your right ear towards your right shoulder, using your finger as your pivot point. So we're just going to tilt that over. Now remember, what we're trying to do is trying to get your eyes nice and level. Now what we're trying to do now is going to raise your left ear towards the roof. Okay, that's it. And what you'll find is that will really help with this stretch down here. So if any have any problems with any neck pain or even any back pain, this is really good. Okay, reset back in the middle, and we're going the other side. So left ear to your left shoulder. Okay, so just take that down. Good. I'm going to try and raise that ear up towards the roof, and you really feel that down that side here. Good. Okay, good. And eyes back in the middle. Okay, and relax from there. Now, this next one for you guys, obviously, most of you got your cameras turned off, so it's fine. But one of the exercises we're going to do is we're going to bring your head forward, and then we're going to bring it back. So this is really good for this middle part of your neck here. So it can be called the pigeon, whatever you want to call it. And obviously you're sat at home, so we're not sat in the office, so it's fine. So from here, we're going to draw your chin forward, okay? And then we draw it back. Okay, so you're like a double chin. That's it, good. And then bring it forward, and then we bring it back. Okay, so it's this motion is really important. Okay, so I think most of the time, we call it, everyone looking at smartphones and tablets, we're all here. So this is one of these exercises that we all need to focus on. Good. Okay. That's it. Just going to do a couple more. Okay. We'll make this the last one. Bring it in. Good. And relax. Now the other one, the last bit we'll do on the neck, and we'll work round onto your shoulders and everything, is we're now going to keep your head, relax your shoulders, feet flat on the floor, and raise this chest back up. We're now going to try and move your head to one side. So if you watch, try this, so moving your chin over to one side. and then back over. It is quite tough, you'll hear quite a bit of clunking. I know I definitely can. So we're trying to just bring that head to one side. So if you do have any of the neck or especially upper back pain, this will be quite it's suitable and you will be able to do it. But yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a tough one. Good. And relax from there. Now the next one we're going to do is place your hands onto your elbows for me, relaxing your shoulders, and we're going to turn your body to one side. We're going to come back in the middle, and we're going to go back the other way. Just turning from one side to the other. Just nice and relaxed. Relax your shoulders. Now your feet nice and flat on the floor, but also if you're on a swivel chair, making sure you're not cheating and making sure you're swiveling round. Okay, so making sure your hips are nice and still, and coming over from that way. That's it. Good. Just going to do a couple more. Now your chin is going to make sure it follows. Your chin is following your wrists. Good. Okay. And relax. So relax from there. Now I'm going to move to my chair. Okay, from here. So next one we're going to do is, okay, so the check. There we go. So hands at the side here. So your feet nice and flat on the floor. And we're going to do a side bend. Okay, so sliding that hand down that chair leg and bring it back up. So sliding down. We stop and bring it back up. Now you see how wide my legs are, which is what you need because we're not sat here. Feet go a little bit wider because we need that more stability. Again, this is something you can do. So if you guys are still working from home, I tend to do this quite often. If I'll have my headphones in, either on a phone call and then doing some of these. Okay, good. And these are some of the ones we do in the classes as well, so some of the remote classes that we do. Good, and relax. Now, the next one, bring your feet in a little bit more and reset that posture. Okay? The next one, we're going to reach behind us. So I'm going to have one hand on my thigh, I'm going to reach over behind me, and I'm looking at my fingertips. Okay? I'll bring it back, and then I go back the other way. Okay, so I'm bringing it back behind me, looking at the fingers, and then bring it back. Now remember, depending on your range of motion, we're going to keep going by the way. Okay, only go with your range of motion, so if anyone has any shoulder problems or anything like that, only go to where you feel comfortable. Okay, so do a couple more, good, and relax. Now the next one we're going to do is the seat belt. Okay, so we're going to same bit, we're reaching over the top of your shoulder and we're rotating round over the top. Okay, so we reach round over the top, we're looking at your fingers. So the idea is we're doing this twisting. Okay, so the midsection of your body is twisted around. We're just going to do a couple more of these. That's it. Good. Excellent. Excellent, good. Okay, and just place your hands back on, and every time we do this, we try and reset that posture. Okay, so raise that rib cage up towards the roof. Now, the next one we're going to do is a shoulder roll. So really simple, hands on your thighs, shoulders to the roof, shoulder blades into your back pockets, and bring it down. Okay, so shoulders to the roof, bring it back down. You can move your hands over the top of your legs or keep them still, totally up to you. That's it. And again, we're just taking our time. Okay, good. That's it. We'll just do a couple more. So again, really good if you've got tension in your shoulders and in your neck. This is a really, really good one. Okay. And last one. Relax from there. Now, next one we're going to do is, we'll do this towards the end, but we'll also do it now as well. So you don't keep your chairs where they are, I'm just doing this just as an example. So your bum is away from the back of the chair, you're nice and tall. Now, both hands, I'm going to grab the back of my chair. Okay, so I'm going to shimmy back a little bit more. I'm going to raise my rib cage up. Okay, so my chin and eyes are up nice and tall. I'm gripping the back of this chair. And I'm slightly looking up, so I'm slightly looking over above eye line. That's it, good. Okay, good. And relax. Relax from there, good. Okay. Now, the next one we're going to work on to is we're going to do your knees and then your hips. So I'm going to move my chair further over this way. Okay, so while I'm here, okay. So from here, we're going to shimmy our bum into the middle of the chair. Okay, that'll do. Now, all I'm going to do from here, I'm going to raise one foot up and bring it down. Okay, so I'm raising one foot up, toes directly to the roof, and then I bring it down. Good. Now the hardest thing, the toughest thing about this, if you need to use the back of the chair, so if you need to shimmy to the back of the chair and then do it, okay? If you want a little bit more of a challenge, shimmy your bum away. I'm just going to raise that up. So even though if you guys, some of you might be used to going to the gym, you might be running, might be cycling, anything like any classes or anything like that. But really this mobility, this movement is really good even for you are doing it. So just getting these joints moving, which is the main point. I'm just going to do a couple more. That's it, good. Last one. Excellent. Now the next one we're going to do is your ankles. Okay, so your ankles as well. So while we're here, I know you can see my feet from here. So feet closer together, and I'm going to keep my hands on my knees. Okay. If you're not already, bring your bum away from the back of the chair. Not so you're going to tip off the chair or it's going to come out from underneath you, but it's staying in the middle. Now, if you watch my feet, I'm going to turn my toes away. I'm then going to turn the heels away. Then I'm going to turn the toes away again. Okay? So I bring them in, I lift them up, I bring them together. Now the reason why I'm keeping my hands on my knees is we want this hip motion. Okay? So you see my hands again as I'm doing it, toes come away, heels come away, and then my knees come away. Because what you can find is if you sat down for a long period of time, your hips, your hips will get really, really tight. So this is one thing that we do, that we all need to focus on, me included. Okay. So while we're doing this, we stay nice and tall. And if you find this quite easy, raise your toes up a little bit more. So raise your toes up, raise your heels up, raise your toes up. Okay. I have to do this quite often if I'm doing quite a bit of running or any cycling as well, just keep that tension, obviously stop that tension rather and keep that movement going. Good. And relax from there. Now, next one we'll do. So we sat nice and tall, bring your feet further away. And we're going to raise our toes up to the roof. Okay? And we bring them back down. Now, one of the reasons why we're doing this movement is if some of you guys are, some of you guys do use the gym, you do classes, you run quite a lot, whichever. But some of you might not. And some of you might be, prime example, might be a risk of a fall. So if you've got your balance is impaired or anything like that. And this is one of the important exercises, simple mobility exercise like this can really help. There's this bit of your legs, okay, that can lose motion as well. And flexibility and movement. We're just going to do a couple more. Okay. Good. We'll just make this the last one. And then now we're going to bring our feet in and we're going to raise our heels up to the roof. Okay. So we're raising those heels up and we're bringing them back down. Now I'm doing these obviously I'm doing this in training stuff because I'm not in the house. So if we were doing this at home and it was another day, I would probably not have any shoes on and be in my eldest bedroom. So, but for me, it's this bit where if you look at where my foot is, I'm bending from the ball of my foot. So I'm not directly on my toes. Okay? I'm trying to raise those heels up. Now, every time you do this, try and reset that posture again. Okay? So this is working and mobilising the back of your calves. Good. Okay, just going to do one more. Excellent. Now the next one, and the last one that we'll do on this, and we'll do a little bit more when we get out of the chair, is from here, we're going to raise one hand, and we're going to bring that knee in towards your tummy, okay? Now, you can see my foot, I'm going to turn my toe outwards, okay? So I'm raising up. So watch, which I didn't mention before, when you're doing that leg extension, you're doing that knee in front, make sure you're not kicking the, you're kicking the computer table or anything like that, so make sure you've got enough space around you, okay? That's it, so just rotate your ankle, good. And try and keep your posture up nice and tall, so that throughout everything we're doing, try and sit up nice and tall. Good, and relax, bring that down. Change sides, so bring that knee up, bring that knee in, okay? And we're going away, from your body. Okay, so we're going clockwise. Okay, that's good. That's it. So this is kind of doing both, we're stretching your back and obviously the top of your bum, but this is an important one to do. Good, okay, and relax from there. Now another mobility for your hips, so again, if you sit quite a long time and everything else, this is a really, really good one. So with one leg, again, watch me first and then give it a go. So I'm going to place my foot over the top. Now what I'm after is I know my foot can move. So I'm not in the middle of my shoe is not on the leg, it's my actual leg on here. Now, I know you might not be able to see with the light of obviously with the light on here, but my leg is slightly up. All I'm going to try and do is I apply a little bit of pressure, just placing my hands on, and my aim is I'm trying to get my leg nice and as flat as I can. As I'm doing that, I'm raising that ribcage up. Okay, so I'm nice and tall. Okay? So this is for that part of your hips. Okay? That's it. Good. And relax. Good. So take that pressure off. Change sides. Okay? So we take that foot up. Again, we've got that slight angle. Now again, as you'll see, even for me, I've just noticed this as well before, how you'll find one leg is a hell of a lot tighter than the other. So for me, this is definitely my less flexible side. And I can tell that, and even I can see that on the camera as well. But you'll all have that. Everyone will have that. You'll have one leg, one part of your back, one shoulder, will be one tighter than the other. So that's why it's important to do stuff like this. Good. Okay. And relax. Okay. Ease that off. Now the next bit that we'll do is we'll do a little bit of fitness. So basically it'll be marching on the spot and a few different bits. We're going to get you out of the chair, and then by that point we'll be done. Okay. We'll do some more stretches. So all we need to do is hands on your knees, and we're just going to march on the spot. Okay. So all your little bit. Okay. So it's lifting these feet off the floor. You guys, yeah, there you go. So I know you guys can see my shoes on there. Okay. So we're lifting these feet up. Now, if this is quite easy, okay, if you think, oh, actually, this is too easy, start bringing your knees up a little bit higher. Okay. Again, watching what's in front of you, so you're not going to kick the printer underneath you, or kicking the dining room table or whichever. Okay. So we know we're raising up. Now, if you can, opposite hand, opposite foot. So now a little bit of a march. Now, what we're after is your heel comes back behind you. Okay, so as we're doing it, so your elbows rather than the heels. Well, so my heel is obviously lifting up off the floor, but my elbow is coming behind me. Okay, so any of you runners, so if anyone is taking part in any challenges or anything, try and get that elbow back behind you. So we're not doing uppercuts. Elbow comes back. Okay, good. And relax. Okay. Now we're going to do another one which is called a toe tap. Okay. So we're just going to tap our foot to one side, bring it back in, back a little bit more. There we go. And we tap over. Good. Now again, if you find that right, okay, this is quite easy. You can just try and put that toe on the floor. That's it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my hand over the top of my knee and bring it back. And over the top of my knee and I bring it back. That's it. So you can try now the toes and you're stretching over.
You've conquered, Jake.
That's it. Leaning over. That's it. Guys, if you've got anything on in the background, pop your mic on mute for me. Cheers guys, thank you. So we're now just leaning over and going from here. Okay? Now again, if you're finding this quite easy, you know that you can go a little bit more. So you're committing to pick up that brew off the floor, or you drop that pen, you know. I know my stuff, when my kids decide to come in and start moving stuff around, then I know I've got to start picking stuff up. So it's leaning over. And when we're doing it, do a brief hold. So lean over, brief hold, and back in. Okay? Okay, I'm just going to do one more of these. Good. Okay, and relax. Good. Now, the next one that we're going to do is grab yourself a drink if you need to, by the way, guys. That's the main bit. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a step over. So really simple. Guys, pop your mics on. If you're talking, pop your mic on for me, or pop it on mute rather. That's it. Cheers, guys. Thank you. So the next one we're going to do is a step over. So really simple. I'm going to keep my hands on my knees. I step up, and then a step over. Okay, so a step over, and then a step over. Okay. So I know that's, so the analogy I always use with any of my classes, we're stepping out of the car, so it's that bit lifting out, or another one is we're stepping over the cat, because what you're not going to do is you're not going to then step over with one leg and then drag it over with the other. You're physically going to pick that foot up and clear what you're stepping over, aren't you? So that's what I want you to do. Okay. Now the reason why I'm keeping my hands on my knees is so I know you can see my hip motion, because that's what we need. Okay? So it is, it's that motion in here, that motion in the tightness here, which we all need to work on, and again me included. We'll just do a couple more of these. That's it. Good. That's it. So we're really raising that knee up towards the roof. And again, if you find this quite easy, try and go a little bit higher. Okay, because you can make this harder or make this easier, you know, as you go. Last one, do one more on this side, one more on the other. That's it. And then last one on this side. Good. Okay, good. And relax. Now, the next one we're going to do, I'm going to move to the front, and we'll do some mobility for your back. So, next one. So while I'm here, so again, nice and tall. Nice and tall. Hands onto your thighs. Okay. We're going to breathe in through your nose. Going to hold it. And breathe out through your mouth. We're going to do two more of them. Two more. Okay. In through your nose. And hold it. And breathe out. Okay. Last one. In through your nose. And we breathe out. Good. Okay. Now, next bit we're going to do is some more back mobility. Again, which is really, really important. So we've got a few more exercises to do, but we'll get through it. I can do it from this angle, which is fine. So if you think, when I'm sat at the desk, if I feel like I'm sat here, what I'm going to do is from this position, I'm going to raise my rib cage up, and I'm going to bring it back down. So I'm raising up, okay, and then I bring it back down. Okay, and this movement's something that's really, really good. So I want you to try this when you're at your makeshift office in the house. You know, whether you're sat at the sofa or you're on the dining room. This is one of those ones that you can really work on. Okay, and again, it's all too easy working from laptops as well. If you're not working from desktops. Okay, good. Okay, good. Last one, good, and relax. Okay. Now we'll do a couple more. So we'll do some stretches now. So I'm going to stretch the back of your leg. I'm going to stretch the bottom of your leg, your calf, and obviously the top of your leg, your hamstring. Okay. So we're back on the chair. So for me on here, I'm going to bring one leg in front. So I know you can all see my toes on here. Leg is nice and straight. And my hands go on my bent leg. Okay? Now, if you can see that curve in my back, so from the top of my neck down to my spine here, my aim, what I'm going to try and do now, is I'm going to try and straighten that out. And as soon as you do that, you'll feel that right down the back of that leg, straight away, because your toe is up to the roof, your foot's nice and level, because everything is connected. So from the back of that knee all the way up to the top of your neck, that's everything's connected. So you know as soon as you do that, that's what you're going to get. So if anyone has any back pain, this is number one. This is one of the ones that you need to do. Okay? But we're nice and tall. Good. And relax. We soften this knee. Change sides. So again, leg nice and straight. Hands onto your knee. Toe up towards the roof. And then we extend that posture up. So we're nice and tall. Okay, that's good. Keep holding. That's it, and relax. Good, excellent. Now, the last one that we'll do for today is going to be your calf stretch, so the back of your legs here. Now, we're going to stand up for this one. So for me on here, I'm going to move my chair, so I know that I'm going to stand at the back of my chair. I'm going to step one leg back. Okay. My back heel is on the floor. And I'm nice and tall. You can do this on the chair, you can do it on the wall. So if you've got any wall space, obviously I'm in the studio now, so I haven't got any wall space on me now, apart from if I go behind me. But I want that back heel on the floor. And if you go down and look at your toe from the middle, and you want that heel to be nice and straight. Okay? So we're nice and tall. Getting that knee towards the front, and that leg is nice and straight. And raising that rib cage up again. Okay? Good. So we keep holding. Okay. And we relax from there. And then change sides. So I step back. My back heel is glued into the floor. And I'm looking at that foot right underneath me there. Okay? So again, this is kind of a double whammy because you can feel it in the front of your hips and also the back. And it's also the back of that calf as well. Okay? So again, keeping that rib cage up nice and tall and making sure that back heel is glued on.